say once again, good morning to everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You know, it's a blessing to be here, but I always come to the pulpit with hesitation. And I've always done this. I struggle with this. And I think about Paul, maybe this is my thorn in the flesh. Maybe it is, and I just have to deal with it. I just have to deal with it. Because I'm only doing this. I'm only doing it because the pastor had asked me, almost sitting down. And you say, well, no, this guy pastored churches. I did. I pastored about 10 years. But I still had that thorn in the flesh. Still had it. And still do have it. And I asked God, why this thorn continue to haunt me? Why can't I just pick up the message and run with it? You know, I can get excited at times. I can get excited at times. And the lesson scripture this morning is one that I think we all can get excited about. Because it speaks to us. Fran did a little bit of it this morning in our elders meeting. So the scripture lesson for this morning is coming from Matthew 20 through 28. And here begins the reading of the scripture. Then the mother of the sons of Zebedee came with her son, and kneeling before him, and asked a favor of him. And he said to her, what do you want? And she said to him, declare that these two sons of mine, one on your right and one on your left, in your kingdom. But Jesus answered, you do not know what you are asking. Are you able to drink of the cup that I am going to drink of? They said to him, we are able. He said to them, you will indeed drink my cup. But to sit at my right and at my left is not mine to grant. But it is for those whom it has been prepared by the Father. And when the 10 heard this, they were angry with the two brothers. But Jesus called them to him and said, you know that the rulers of the Gentiles lord over them, and their great ones are tyrants over them. It is not so among you. But whosoever wishes to be great among you must be your servant. And whosoever wishes to be first among you must be your slave. Just as the Son of Man came, not to serve, but to be, not to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many. I'll read that over again. Just as the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, and give his life as a ransom for many. In fact, this chapter is exciting. There are several things in there that will grab your attention, and if you start thinking real seriously, it can get you excited. The first part of this is Jesus talking about what the kingdom of heaven is like. And he does that with a vineyard, with laborers going to the vineyard. But then, just before he gets to this place, which is very important, I believe, Jesus again takes his disciples off to the side and said to them that, you know, I'm going up to Jerusalem. And I'm not just going up there just to go. But I am going to be crucified, be mocked, be beaten. So our text today, our text is taken, that I read to you, is really from Matthew. But I think that the scripture from Matthew, but in the text, I think there are lots of questions and self-examination. So I really want you to ask yourself these questions as we work our way through the scripture. One of the questions may be, why am I here? Or what is my purpose? Of what makes me significant? Now I want to deal first with the two books here. Now Mark says this. You notice that in Matthew, the mother made the request. The mother made the request. That's a long thing there, and I could deal with something there because I know how precious mother is. But now in Mark, the 10th chapter, 35th verse through 45th verse, the two disciples make the request. So as we come today, I want us to look more or less at Matthew, because that's the one I'm going to deal with. The scripture tells us to an extent, our history tells us, the reason why that Matthew made the request, because Matthew wrote 25 years later about the disciples, and that time the disciples was on the road. They were going everywhere preaching the gospel, telling of the wondrous things of Jesus. And so therefore they did not want to have any negative ideas about the disciples. So Matthew gave the request to the mother. But that's not important. That's not the important thing about what the scripture is all about. If you look at the scripture, that this scripture gave Jesus a great opportunity to teach a great precious lesson. Some writers have looked at this scripture and they define Jesus as a servant leader because of what he said in the scripture. But I just want to step off a little bit, because they also placed Moses in the same position. And I want to say this because I like what Numbers said about Moses. That God said about Moses. This is what he said. When there were prophets among you, I, the Lord, made myself known to you in visions. I spoke to them in dreams. Not so with my servant Moses. I spoke to him face to face. I didn't speak to him in dreams. I didn't have to wonder about him. Well, that's not really the servant. It's not really the servant, but that's a part of the servant leadership that can get you excited about the meaning of a servant leadership.